these weird situations in the all-kill format where we do not have the trust in this guy to bring it to, more hope for Afreeca, and then he just comes out and outperforms a guy who's 3-0, stomping the rest of your team. And it's just really awesome to see. Now he's got it behind him. He's got that one win. Hi, Pro Gamers. And
Pro Gamers sneaking in. We saw them.
Yeah, looks like Zest was in there, as well as Jagchi. But now, anything could happen. Anything really could happen.
Yeah, I think TY is a good choice. Speaking of Jagchi, I don't think so. But TY is my pick. We already saw him on camera earlier. It doesn't necessarily mean that he was chosen. He might have actually just been talking to Stats about that game because he's a good Terran player. Like, I do this build all the time. You should have just been more aggressive in this place or that place.
Maybe he's talking to Zest before Zest goes into his matchup.
So I mean,
don't know.
Could be anybody. I'm leaning towards TY myself. I think you are as well. I think Zest would not be a bad choice here, but I just like the idea of a TVT first. For me, I always talk about this with mirror matchups. Even though TVT is the least volatile, the later you use a mirror matchup, the scarier it becomes because sometimes things just build order-wise get nasty. Let's see who it's going to be.
See who they want to throw out here. Maybe it will be TY, Zest, or someone else.
Yep.
Let's see. It's
Lerilak.
Okay.
Zerg coming out here on Lerilak. Not what I expected. Not what I expected at all. Two former clanmates on FOU will battle it out here now in a ZVT. Lerilak, we've only seen him 2 times this season, and he's 0-2 currently.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Not a bad map for Zerg if you can get the right spawns. You want to have a decent fourth base. You want cross positions on this map. And you can send out Lerilak. You give him experience. You're going to need him later for more series later on.
Absolutely.
You tire out Keen. You throw in a different matchup as well because obviously TY and Zest, a Terran and a Protoss, are coming up next. So I like the idea.
I do too.
We wanted to end it now, not give them too much momentum, but I see what they're thinking.
Keep in mind, I talked about this a lot earlier, but KT's roster does not have the depth that Jinair and SKT have. They have a much less deep roster. You want to hide your players that you need. You're going to need them tomorrow versus Jinair if you win. You're going to need them on Saturday versus SKT if you win. Hide your top players. Sinlinik out here. You're very right. I think you're right. I think this is a smart choice. Tire him out if it needs to be. You can use those players.
Yeah. So let's jump into game number 5 right now between Lerilak and Keen.
Looks like we got to wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, the Korean commentator started talking again. Not sure what's up, but these players look ready.
I think so. They're both in the lobby. They're not saying anything, so I think we're okay.
Yeah. Lerilak doing a chopping symbol. That's what he wants to do to Keen. Chop his head clean off with a victory here. It looks like we are ready, guys. So let's jump into game number 5, a ZVT on Lerilak Crest. Up in the top left, in the red, the Zerg player from KT Rolster. It is Lerilak.
And his opponent in purple. To the bottom right for the Freaks, it is Keen. He won that game. He shocked the world. Now he's got arguably an easier opponent here, but it is Lerilak, who doesn't have a lot of games shown. But, Keen obviously isn't prepared for this. He had no idea who he was going to face.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even confident in himself to defeat Stats. If he was, he was overconfident. That was a mistake.
Certainly showed a bunch of confidence in what he was doing. Was very decisive in that move. I really loved just the counterattack, going for the kind of base trade, if Stats did not want to go back home.
That was the winning moment. That's what gave him the advantage. That turned the tides of the game. And had he seen that 5th base like you were talking about, it could have even gotten more damage done. He would just been able to fly over there and kill it.
Could have potentially taken 3 Nexi, which would have maybe even been game-ending because Stats would probably have just gone for the counterattack and may have been shut down.
The Liberator in the late game TVP is kind of like a siege tank, so it would have been tough for Stats to kind of all in that position against all those liberators. He may have been able to win the fight, but he lost too much to do so, and then Keen could just turn his army around after killing next side and clean up the rest, and that would have been game. So kind of caught between a rock and a hard place there. Smart decision making by Keen. Do you see a quick hatchery into gas before pool here for Lerilak?
Yeah. And he's going to be very happy once he does scout that they are at cross spawns. This is what I was talking about. Definitely the best spawn, I believe, right now for ZDT on this map.
Yeah, I would agree.
A pretty comfortable fourth base. It's not the most comfortable, just by design of this map. They purposely put those fourth bases out there, but you get a nice and easy third with rocks to defend. So there's that. You get an easy third. You don't get an easy fourth. You can't have everything.
No. Can't have your cake and eat it.
Exactly. So
unless you go to Paris Baguette and take it home. That would be
Paris Baguette cakes, I don't know about them, man. I'm not the biggest fan,
well,
to be honest.
You know how I feel about that. If anyone whenever I invite people to my birthday party, I'm like, if anyone brings a Paris Baguette cake, you're banned. I'm gonna take the cake, throw it out the window.
This is your last time at Wolf's birthday party.
I'm like, taking the cake, throwing it out the window to ask you politely to leave. Okay, and don't you dare go get me a Dunkin' Donuts cake after that. And I'm like, I just don't want that. All right, I just want you to come to my party. Maybe bring some wine, some Cheez-Its. That would be nice. It's hard to get here in Korea.
Yeah.
But
bring the Cheez-Its.
Bring the Cheez-Its, but I don't
reduce fat.
Yeah, reduce fat. That's the one because that doesn't get your fingers messy.
Yeah.
Let's see how messy Lerilak's fingers get here with this Reaper. Not a whole lot of damage done. Not a whole lot of Link's Forest either. He's getting a quick Overlord speed. He wants to identify what Keen is up to. Keen very much known to be an aggressive player in this matchup, but in this case, he's going to Hellion into third CC. No fancy all-in, no timing attack or anything like that.
Yeah, it's very nice. Made to note that Keen has a bit more confidence in the matchup to go for a macro game, and especially at these positions. It's like the freest third base, cross spawns against the Zerg. Just go for it. You can get Hellions to control the map at the same time. Make sure you don't get killed by any kind of Ling all-in or anything weird like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice build out of Keen.
Overlord speed is really smart for Lerilak because he really needs to know what Keen is up to. I like how Keen's been playing these. He's going to lose this Reaper. That's fine. I like how he's been playing these games. He's been playing a little bit more macro-oriented than you would expect from Keen against these Titans. And I think that may throw off a player like Lerilak. When he sees this, he's going to be like, oh, you're just, wow, I didn't expect that. I guess I got to make 8 drones, you know? And I got to just play safe here, or rather play greedy here, because you're actually playing the defensive game, the macro game, not what I think Lerilak expected to see at this stage.
Yeah, so we could see stuff like earlier fourth if you wanted to go for it. He's just going to go for the lair here first.
Yep, because Keen's going for Cloak. He's channeling Alive's player badge from the Star League here with this. And Lerilak is like, I guess it's really Cloak. Like, he checks it again, and he's going to have that quicker lair, so he should be fine against this.
And there's nothing in the base to kill these Overlords. No Pult Viking, no anything. Not even Marines at this point. I think there's like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But
he might not even have any Marines because he went Reapers early on.
He's got 1.
1 Marine, okay.
Yeah, that's...
Versus Speed Overlords, good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
you can only run so fast in that giant suit.
That's like me with a bug catcher's net trying to catch a cheetah, okay? It's just not going to happen.
I would love to see that, though. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Sounds dangerous.
Just watch you running around in the desert trying to catch a cheetah with a bug catcher
It's like the net that you use to catch cicadas, like in Japan, like when they have the cicada festival, but I'm just trying to catch a cheetah. The cheetah's like, I won't even fit in that, Wolf. What are you doing? There's a lot of links here, by the way.
Oh, wow.
No micro.
Man, no micro on the Hellions. Too late there. 1 does survive. It's very low. It should be able to go down here.
Oh, the SCVs are helping out, though, so he's going to try to get maximum value here. Really nice hold position there, or stop position on the SCVs. I thought this was going to be a disaster, but it turns out to be pretty decent for Keen. The problem is, look, he lost 3 SCVs. He's already like 18 SCVs down. And he lost a few, like he lost a Hellion or 2 there, so that means he can't pressure as easily. So Lerilak is totally fine to sit back and macro from here. The Banshee killing like a Ling or 2, so nothing being done with that. That was a huge investment.
Yeah, and at the same time, Lerilak has been just let alone on his side of the map. Even the Hellions didn't get to do too much harassment. Just by design on this map, it's very hard to get up that ramp, especially with the speedlings up there. So he's up to 62 drones. He's getting a macro hatch at his 3rd, playing it very safe, slow. He can use that extra larva with the economy that he has built for himself. I like the way that he's playing here. He's going for what looks like Ling Bling Muta as well. Gonna go for that style. No Rich Ravager in this house.
He's gonna try to snipe this queen here, and if the queen doesn't move back to that Spore Crawler, he will get it. And these Banshees can just hold position next to the gas, deny some mining, killing a few Harvesters here, so fighting more damage than I would have thought. Very well done. If he knew about this fourth base, he might even be able to punish that here as well, but it looks like he's just on his way back. No, it will go over and check it. I think it's not. He's not going to be able to kill it, but he can harass and maybe catch any queens that come over, slowing down this creep spread.
Could also go for a scan.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen that before, even just with one Banshee. Try to deny a bunch of this creep. He's going to kill the tumors, so we're going to see some queens come out there and have to rebuild that creep.
Yeah, he's going to need this Overseer to come into position to deal with these Banshees as well. The queens don't have vision without him. Okay, going to have to just let that hatch go up. Didn't get over there quick enough. 7 mutas on the way, which means these Banshees probably not going to go home, unfortunately. Sad story. The Banshee sisters here got to go down.
Maybe if they went home right now, maybe then they could get home, but...
If they had like the Hearthstone from Heroes of the Storm, like they could definitely make it back, but they don't, so... They are going to actually go all the way to the bottom corner because Keen knows what's up, so this is very smart. So I think they will actually at least survive.
Cool, actually, because they're not going to do too much later on outside of harassment. So if you can hide them for just a strange time and just swing up at your fourth base when you're least, it's bad. Oh, no.
Oh, no. There are a few siege tanks here, but, I mean, it's just going to target them down. One tank goes down. The second one likely to fall. Going to be pretty close.
Very close. And look at this. There's not too much anti-air. Could try to swing in, snipe a tank.
Oh, he might go for it. This is a huge Marine push, but he's going really deep on creep. Baneling speed is almost done. There are 7 Banelings on the map already. The mutas are turning around here, but Keen needs to be careful not to stick around too long. Oh no, he needs to pick up here. He's trying to target the Banelings. A lot of Marines lost, and here come the mutas.
Yeah, he picked up what he could, and now here come the mutas, as you mentioned. They did get the tank, by the way. So another nice pickup for Lerilak, and now all those Marines kind of stuck behind the rocks. He could try to drop again at the fourth, but it looks like Lerilak may want to put on some pressure. He's got so many Banelings rolling across, and some nice Muta support as well. And
Lerilak is the king of 3-base, even though that 4th base has been unsaturated for so long. He will 3-base better than anyone. You know, Jelizer just got out of the military, so he's not back in shape yet. Like, he would 3-base better than Lerilak, but at this point in time, Lerilak's so good at this. So many Banelings here, and he's going to have to lift up again. I think he's on cooldown on those medevacs. Well, he's not quite. He's trying to bait this army really far off creep so he can take a fight here. He needs to split.
Just ends up losing the 2 medevacs, and Lerilak loses a bunch of lings, but he has so much larva with the macro hats and 4th bases. He's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, now that 4th base is up, he's going Hive, which is a very unlike Lerilak, but very smart considering the situation. And Keen just needs to kind of sit back and continue his upgrades. He's behind in that, so that's also another challenge he has in this game. He's trying to do a lot of fancy baiting shenanigans with these units. Lings probably don't want to commit here. That's a lot of bio back there.
Yeah, and once he sees that, he just backs off.
Oh, but while he was controlling that, he lost a few mutas. So Keen getting small trades here and there. Drilling Claws nearly finished. As this matchup is still playing out very similarly to how it did in Heart of the Storm. There's a few Liberators, of course, to change it and make it a little bit different, but...
yeah, and everything will change once Lerilak gets those Ultras out, if he does decide to go for that, which probably should.
That's when Nathanius is going to just turn off the stream and go to bed, but...
he's like, okay, guys, it's over. GG. That's it.
Every Terran player is like, oh, Ultras, no. There's going to be a post on Reddit, then like Liquid Noni's going to have to come out. Everyone's going to get really upset. These 2 Banshees survived, by the way, and they might actually be useful at sniping some Banelings later on if there's no Overseers nearby. Potentially even killing some Ultras. It's pretty unlikely, but got to be careful versus these Liberators.
Ooh, that's a bunch. There's actually 4 in that mix, and just going to contaminate and just try to run away. Will succeed in doing so.
All right, Ultralisk Cavern, Adrenal Glands.
Both very strong in this expansion.
Yeah, much stronger than before. The Marauder nerf being a big issue here as well. These Banshees do find their way over here to kill a few drones.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about before. Just come around at a weird time, get a little bit of harass. Only gets 2 drones, but that's about as much as they could have gotten anyway.
All right, here we go. Link's trying to come in and maybe surround. The mutas are coming back. Not a lot of creep here for these Banelings to try to engage from the north, so I don't think Lerilak would actually behoove to attack there. Ling's trying to trade with these Marines. They're at even upgrades, and Adrenal Glands isn't done yet, so King gets a small win there as well. This base is not yet set to be a planetary, but Lerilak's going to try to go for a surround here.
Here he comes, the mutas leading the charge, and the Bailey's coming from both sides, but not coming at the best angle, and half of them on the left are not fighting.
Yeah, it looks like they were considering going for the siege tanks here, but even still, Lerilak gets a decent trade. The problem is that, you know, there's another army, and there's a lot of harassment coming up. Keen has another whole army set up at his natural. He's killing more drones here. He's finding more damage. And this game is still anyone's to take. Lerilak having the better upgrades, though, and he's already started those. Some Corruptors coming out on the map. And even Transfuses going down to save those mutas.
Corruptors are interesting. They're definitely going to help out against the Liberators in the sky, for sure. As long as you don't bunch them up too hard and there's not a massive amount of Liberators.
Yeah, Vipers would also do the job, so I'm almost wondering if he wants to go Broodlords or something a little bit later on.
Yeah, no Greater Spire just yet, but definitely an option if he wants to go for that just huge Zergling, or rather Zerg Death Ball towards the end. Still has that Ultralisk Caver waiting on, I guess, the chitinous plating, and then maybe he'll make some Ultras into this mix. I very highly doubt he'll make the Ultralisk Cavern and then just not make Ultras with how strong they are.
Sure, and consider also that he's been taking some unfavorable fights off creep versus Keen, so he doesn't have the bank to make a ton of Ultras yet, so he's trying to wait for that as well. Good control by Lerilak with this small muta group. He's always forcing Keen to react, but he's never losing it. Oh, but this time he's got a trap set! Oh, look at that.
Goodbye, mutas.
Overseer's like, let me drop my changelings first, don't kill me.
Liberator's struggling to catch up, in fact, and...
oh no, this could be a problem though. A lot of speed banes here.
Yeah, trying to take the best trade as possible is Keen, but even off creep, Lerilak just having so many banelings, so many lings to tank, and does wipe out that army.
Yeah, scary to extend that much with those Liberators. If they were at home in that fight, it would have been easy. Lerilak would not be able to engage that. He could just drop Liberation Zones on everything. +2 for Liberators coming up here now. And Lerilak is starting to add Infestors into the mix. +3 for his Flyers. So he's really going for this air style, keeping the Ultralisk off the table for now. Which is interesting. Yeah. You know, it's not the... Oh, he wasn't looking. This is like always what happens to Baneling Mines. Everyone gets excited, but...
It's always so anticlimactic. Come on, Lerilak. You can do it.
All right. Anyway. Well, big Widowmine hit there. Just getting himself surrounded. There's no support from the Liberators, so Keen is basically just going to fight a losing battle here, but he's trading against the Banelings. Thing is, he's trading against the Banelings for what? Like, the Banelings aren't really going to work with those Liberators. If they were together, it would have been a different story. But instead, he kind of loses his whole bio, which means he can't pressure anymore, so he has to back off and rebuild it. His 3-3 is almost done. The CC is almost certainly going to go down. Look at that. So many Corruptors.
Yeah, we do see the Liberators trying to get over here in time, but here we go, the Vipers.
Parasitic Bomb. He's already splitting here. Very well done by Keen. Who says Terran can't fight this army? Uh-oh, he needs to split a little bit more. Okay, there he goes. He's on the chase with a lot of Marines underneath this as well.
Yeah,
where are the Banelings?
There's no support.
There's 4 Banelings on the map. He needs to get more Banelings over here. Another Parasitic Bomb comes down.
Only 27 Lings, too. Not sure where they are.
4, 6 Ultras on the way, so as soon as the further he overextends here, the Bio Army might have some trouble, but he keeps pushing this.
Here come the Ultras one at a time. 1 from behind, 2 in front, and
Liberation Zones coming up. He picks up those Marines and is going to back off, but this means the Air Army is going to crush that Liberator Army, and I think that might just be game.
That's really unfortunate. Not the best engagement there for Keen. He really did have to execute, but nice timing from Lerilak with the...
man. Every medevac is locked down here as well, and I think that really seals the deal.
Does get away, and is desperately trying to get out Ghosts now as the Ultralists are coming into play. He needs to set up a defense here at this fort base if he wants to have any hope of staying in this game.
Now, he still has a huge economy, and he's got a ton of barracks and starports to back this up. Big spreads here on the Liberators. His Bioforce, though, coming up. A lot of Ultras and Banelings coming down. They're off creep. Here comes a big yank onto some of these Liberators. The splits here are incredible for Keen, and this is not going to be an engagement Lerilak wants to commit to.
Yeah, going to snipe a bunch of these units at the same time. Couldn't fight into the planetary just yet. He's actually supply blocked at 172. Not sure how that happened. Didn't make enough Overlords just yet. Maybe a bunch of them did get sniped.
This is still just a losing battle for Keen over and over and over again. These Corruptors are going to have free reign on these Liberators. I guess kind of repurposing the meaning of freedom there with those. Now, still, I mean, look at the units tab. 7 Ghosts, 3 Marines. That's what he has as a quote-unquote army here in this game. He's got 4 Liberators out and 3 Medivacs to join those as well. Like, he's got, his bank has been kind of diminished here. Is this still a game that Keen could potentially win with a few Miracle Engages off creep? Leanok's creep spread this game has been pretty lackluster. You know, I'd say like probably Lucira would have this like thick as hell on top of Keen's bases right now.
It's just that Keen has been denied mining at the 5th base for so long. I mean, that Burrowed Ling has been there for about 5 minutes now.
Oh no, and this bio is stuck here. The Liberator's coming in at a bad angle. They're going to get taken out. This whole Bioforce has nowhere to run. There's too many Corruptors. I think this is going to be the game-winning move here for Leanok.
Snipe's trying to come out, but that's the army now just disappearing here for Keen. You can see Leanok basically maxed out, going for the Greater Spire, denying more mining, taking a base down at the bottom left. There's nothing stopping Leanok here.
Its game is over. Keen had one impressive game versus Stats. That's going to be all sure. The Corruptors can still kill that even if you land it in this expansion, so sorry about that, CC. And down it goes. More of these Ghost channeling here. They do escape the Zerg units. That is 100 supply up right now as Leanok adding more Infestors. He's tripling the army supply. These weakened Ultras, he saved them so they can be transfused. They can just regen. GG!
That's going to be it. He knew it. Leanok takes the game. Get him a bit of experience in that booth in the playoffs. He does the job regardless, showing his skill. And there you go.
And there you have it, guys. That is going to be it for today. KT Rolster will advance to the semis tomorrow, where they will face Jin Air Green Wings. The winner of that will go on to face SKT. But a strong showing here for KT today, using one of their lesser used players in Leanok. And Stats, I feel like his performance today was incredible, even though he ended up losing that game to Keen. I would love to see him versus SOS, that starting match tomorrow. That is what I want.
And I'm sure KT
I think we're going to get it.
It's definitely possible. Both those guys are fantastic starting players, fantastic Pertus players in general. And it's kind of unfortunate that KT had to play here. Jin Air just squeaking by them with 3 extra indicator points. And Stats did have to show a bunch of his builds for tonight. Don't forget that. So I'm sure Jin Air was watching all of these games here, even the Leanok one.
Yeah, Stats beats Alive in a decently close PBT. Curious, though, gets Shrek'd, and then Bomber, man. Let's not talk about that game. Keen is able to defeat Stats, and then Leanok closes it out there with some good Viper control, some Parasitic Bombs. Keen really showing us he knows how to play the mid and late game TVZ, but Leanok getting incredible trades nonetheless, getting some good surrounds. His army positioning was very nice there.
Yeah, Leanok still looking strong in his macro ZVT on those big maps, cross position. Keep that in mind for later. They still have Lucira behind them, TY, Zest, guys who haven't shown their play just yet. And